This is the season for the coaching hires. You got a lot of things going on in the NFL world, a lot of people changing places, getting opportunities, making the most of the situation from the previous year. So you got a lot of coaching. They call this the NFL coaching carousel because everybody's moving. We just hired Clint Hurt. We got Kellen Moore, even though Kellen Moore is not officially signed yet. But I believe that's coming, and I believe there is some strategy by the Eagles when it comes to that situation. But you look at all of the teams that are moving around. Looks like Mike McCarthy's going to stay in place, but Dan Quinn is leaving, going to looks like Washington. And I'm reading the news. Leslie Frazier looks like he's going to be in Seattle as an assistant coach. Everybody thought Bill Belichick was going to have a job, but he doesn't. So still a lot of time left. And you're probably going to see some finality after the Super Bowl. But the one thing that I've been noticing is I've been seeing a lot of videos where people are cherry picking moments like the coaches are players. And even when you do that with a player, you got to be careful because it's almost like you can't just pick all of the highlights and roll with that. And everybody's picking these epic speeches when coaches are getting in the faces of players and different things like that. And immediately everybody's like, yeah, I want that on my team. Everybody wants that on their team. But the one thing you have to remember is all personalities don't get along. And you don't deal with people, you deal with personality. So whoever these teams choose as a coach, the one thing that is very important is the coach has to vibe with the players. It doesn't always work out that way, but even if players and coaches don't vibe, if a player feels that the coach has the best interest of the team in mind, it'll always work. You don't have to get along. Now, you heard the stories that came out from Drew Rosenhaus talking about some of the players didn't really care for Vic Fangio. All I know is he's not there to be friends. And he had that team to a number 10 defense. Number 10 in the league. So he must have been doing something right. Now, there's always going to be a situation where, again, people don't get along. That's just the way that it is. That's the cost of doing business in the NFL. You are not there to be friends. You are there to do a job. To play a sport and be the best at your ability at your position. And if you got a coach that can help you do that and get the best out of you, that's what you want on your squad. You don't necessarily want to be friends with everybody because when you're friends, people tend to get comfortable. And when they get comfortable, they don't play up to that level. You got to have an edge to you. You got to have a stick on your shoulder or something like that. You got to be able to dial it up when you need to. And sometimes when you get comfortable in a situation, you lose that edge. So that can be an advantage. So just remember all of these teams that these fans are cherry picking these speeches and these moments on the sidelines. It doesn't always work like that in your situation because to get there, you have a specific set of situations, circumstances, and personalities that mix, and they will either work or not work in certain scenarios. So you got to be careful if you cherry picking because you never know what you're going to get until next year because it depends on the players you get, the assistant coaches you get, and everything that happens. You can't tell me that Robert Saleh is not a good coach. Would he be a better coach if Aaron Rodgers wasn't injured? Probably so. But now the team's in turmoil, this, that, and the other. One moment, one injury can take you from glory to ruin in a hot second.